Hello YouTube, my name is Scott Perdue. I'm an Amazon author of over 100 books, tons of Christian books, self-help books out there for you. Wonderful stuff. Next time you're on Amazon, go to the search bar, type in my name, Scott Perdue, pull up some wonderful options, find some suitable for you, add them to cart, get those in transit right away. There's life-changing wisdom there for you. Anyway, today I'm going to go over a book I'd recently published called Love's Crossroad, The Rewards of Suffering for Love. Today's lesson is about meaning and purpose. Love is a transformed force, one that gives life profound meaning and fills it with purpose. It is often through love that we discover the depth of our existence, and it is through suffering for love that we uncover its truest rewards. This truth is central to the gospel and perfectly embodied in Jesus' sacrifice on the cross. His suffering was not purposeless, but driven by a love so profound that it changed the course of history and eternity. Love gives meaning to pain, redemption to sacrifice, and purpose to every trial. This is love's eternal promise, that the struggles we endure are not ever empty. Instead, they lead us into a deeper understanding of God's heart, foster growth, and point us toward the ultimate joy of being united with Him. The challenges of love refine us, transform us, and reveal the significance of every moment. The power of meaning and purpose in love. Love is the cornerstone of meaning in human life. Without it, our struggles can feel hollow and our victories fleeting. Love gives us a reason to endure, to hope, to persevere. When we love deeply, even the hardest moments take on purpose that transcends the immediate pain. The Bible beautifully captures this in 1 Corinthians 13, 7 through 8. Love is a safe place of shelter, for it never stops believing the best for others. Love never takes failure as defeat, for it never gives up. Love never stops loving. True love gives life an unshakable foundation, anchoring us through every trial and imbuing even our hardships with purpose. When we love others selflessly, we reflect God's character, for God is love. 1 John 4 through 8, this divine love is not passive or superficial. It is active, sacrificial, and redemptive. It transforms every experience, even suffering, into something meaningful. Why redemption requires sacrifice? Redemption is an act of restoring something to its intended state, and it often comes at a cost. Love's redemptive power is inseparable from sacrifice. Jesus' death on the cross is the ultimate example of this truth. His suffering was not random or meaningless. It was a deliberate act of love that brought humanity back into relationship with God. As Hebrews 9:22 explains, without the shedding of blood, there is no forgiveness of sins. Redemption required a sacrifice, and Jesus willingly endured the cross for the sake of love. His suffering gave profound meaning to the pain, showing that even the greatest trials can lead to the most extraordinary outcomes. In our lives, love often calls us to sacrifice. Whether it's our time, comfort, or personal desires, these sacrifices may feel difficult in the moment, but they are essential to building meaningful relationships and fostering lasting joy. Through sacrifice, love becomes more than a feeling. It becomes a choice and a commitment. Love gives purpose to suffering. Without love, suffering can feel like an endless void, devoid of meaning or hope, but love transforms suffering into something purposeful. It teaches us resilience, patience, and compassion, molding us into better versions of ourselves. Romans 3 through 5 speaks to this process. Even in times of trouble, we have a joyful confidence, knowing that our pressures will develop in us patient endurance. And patient endurance will refine our character, and proven character leads us back to hope. And this hope is not a disappointing fantasy, because we can now experience the endless love of God cascading into our hearts through the Holy Spirit who lives in us. When we suffer for love, whether by forgiving someone who has hurt us, enduring a difficult season in a relationship, or making sacrifices for the good of others, we are participating in the process that refines us and draws us closer to God. The pain is not meaningless. It is a steep toward greater intimacy with Him and others. Jesus' suffering, a model of love's purpose. Jesus' suffering on the cross is the ultimate example of how love gives purpose to pain. His sacrifice was not just an act of obedience, but an expression of profound love for humanity. As John 15:13 states, "For the greatest love of all is the love that sacrifices all." And this great love is demonstrated when a person sacrifices his life for his friends. Jesus endured betrayal, rejection, and physical agony because of the joy set before him, the joy of redeeming humanity and restoring our relationship with God. His suffering was purposeful, driven by love, and it brought eternal meaning to every trial we face. This is the hope we carry in our own struggles. When we suffer for love, we are following in the footsteps of Christ, who showed us that every act of love, no matter how costly, has the power to redeem. Redeemed by love, the meaning behind every trial. To be redeemed by love is to find purpose in the midst of pain. Jesus' sacrifice on the cross redeemed humanity, but has also revealed the depth of God's love and desire to bring meaning to every moment of our lives. Isaiah 61:3 speaks of this redemptive power. To all who mourn in Israel, he will give a crown of beauty for ashes, a joyous blessing instead of mourning, festive praise instead of despair. In their righteousness, they will be like great oaks that the Lord has planted for his own glory. In our own lives, love redeems our hardships by turning them into opportunities for growth, connection, and transformation. The sacrifices we make for love, whether in our families, relationships, friendships, or communities, are not in vain. They reflect the heart of God and bring lasting meaning to our lives. Why true love is worth every trial. True love is worth every trial because it aligns us with God's purpose and reveals the eternal significance of our relationships. The struggles we face in love are not merely obstacles to overcome, they are opportunities to grow, to serve, and to experience the depth of God's love. Galatians 6:9 reminds us, "And don't allow yourselves to be weary or disheartened in planting good seeds. For the season of reaping the wonderful harvest you planted is coming." The harvest of love is a life filled with meaning, purpose, and joy, a reflection of God's kingdom on earth. True love is not afraid of sacrifice because it understands that the rewards far outweigh the cost. It sees beyond the immediate pain of the joy and fulfillment that come from loving others selflessly. Love's eternal promise, a life of purpose and joy. The eternal promise of love is that it gives life profound meaning and purpose. Every act of love, no matter how small, carries eternal significance because it reflects the heart of God. Jesus' resurrection is the ultimate fulfillment of this promise. His victory over sin and death assures us that love's sacrifices are never in vain. As Romans 8:28 declares, "So we are convinced that every detail of our lives is continually woven together for good. For we are his lovers who have been called to fulfill his designed purpose." This promise invites us to live with purpose. Even in the face of trials, it reminds us that the struggles we endure for love are part of a greater story, a story of redemption, transformation, and eternal joy. Conclusion: the rewards for suffering for love. The rewards for suffering for love are profound and eternal. Love gives life meaning, making every struggle purposeful rather than empty. Jesus' sacrifice on the cross is the ultimate example of why love is worth every trial. His suffering was driven by love and brought it redemption and purpose to humanity. When we endure the trials of love, we participate in this redemptive work. Our sacrifices, no matter how small, are our opportunities to reflect God's love and to find meaning in every moment. As the Passion Translation beautifully expresses in 1 Corinthians 13:13, "Let love be the beautiful prize for which you run." Love's trials are not to be feared but embraced. They are the path to a life of purpose, joy, and eternal significance. Through love, we are redeemed, renewed, and prepared for the fullness of life in God's presence, where meaning and joy never end. All right, well, that concludes this today's lesson. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Again, my name is Scott Perdue. I'm an Amazon author of over 100 books, tons of Christian books, self-help books, wonderful books out there for you. Next time you're on Amazon, Go to the search bar, type in my name, Scott Perdue, pull up all those wonderful options, see what's appealing to you, add them to cart, get them in transit right away. There's life-changing wisdom there for you, stuff you definitely want in your life. Anyway, thanks again for following me through the video today. Have a blessed day.